Before I begin with this video, could you drop a like and subscribe to the channel? It would mean a lot to me and it would help me to continue making these videos for you guys. And let's get straight into it. So before pickleball, I played basketball somewhat professionally. I played since I was 12 years old all the way till May of 2024, basically when I just dropped it for pickleball. I knew I was done with basketball because I just didn't feel the same love for it that I used to as when I was a kid. And also, you know, the coach just ruining my mental game, my confidence and everything. Just the usual professional basketball player story, I guess. That's what a lot of people experience these days. Also, a lot of injuries messed me up mentally, so that was also kind of tough to just be injured, come back, get injured again. So that was just kind of my story right there with basketball. So basically my last year of basketball, I was just studying, just trying to finish school, trying to finish university, and basically just partying. Didn't really care about basketball anymore. So the first time I actually picked up a paddle was during the pandemic. I think it was 2020 or maybe 2021. Me and my dad went to play singles on the local courts and I hated it. I'm like, I don't have time for this. I'm focused on basketball right now. I was so locked in on basketball, just making it professionally, playing, doing this as my full-time job, you know. So I really didn't care about pickleball that much, and we played like once or twice and I was like, Dad, I don't have time for your new hobby. So we didn't really play again ever since the pandemic. So my dad's friend actually came from Chicago and to Lithuania, and he asked me to do a tournament in Lithuania, and I was like, I'm done with basketball, why not? I didn't practice prior to it at all. Went straight into the tournament, took first place in doubles with this guy, and that's when I just got hooked. I'm like, I came back to US and I'm like, Dad, we gotta do another tournament. So lots of you have been asking me, do I have racket sports background? Yes and no, because I did play table tennis, or what you guys call it, ping pong, when I was 8 years old. I think I started somewhere around that time, and then I played till I was about 12, till we left to US with my parents, with my family, and that's when kind of just that me playing ping pong just kind of died out, and I started focusing full-time on basketball. Didn't have any places to play near ping pong. So once I came to US 4 years later, when I was 12 years old in 2013, there was no more ping pong. It was just straight basketball. So that's my only racket sports background, and I feel like it does help a little bit with some shots, but I wouldn't really say that ping pong really helped me. A little bit, of course, yes, because I did still have like some muscle memory from it, but I think these tips that I will give you guys, how I went from 3-0 to 5-5 in 1 year, that's what actually helped me to get better. So yeah, let's get into it, how I actually became a 5-5 in 1 year. So yes, one of the most underrated things you can do is basically compete. When I came back to the US in May 2024, I literally told my dad right away, like, we gotta sign up for a tournament. So he signed us up for a 3-5 to 4-0 cash prize tournament. We made it to the finals and then literally got crushed in the finals, I think 15-4. But we didn't really care about losing that much. We were not discouraged. We literally just like, okay, this is what we need to do, and we know we can get better now. So within a 2-month span, we literally entered 4 different tournaments. We entered a 4-0 tournament plus, took second place, then a 4-5 tournament, took a lot of L's, but learned a ton. Like, honestly, we learned a lot. Played another 4-0 event, got first place, and yes, you lose, but like, honestly, that's where the learning happens. So I have 195 games on my Duper logged, but I probably played over 300 tournament games already within the year. A lot of them were non-Duper, but bottom line is, if you want to improve fast, literally start showing up where it matters. So tournaments literally equals growth. Honestly, this might be the most underrated but the most powerful tool that literally helped me to go from 3-0 to 5-5. Start recording your games. The first time I watched myself play, I was kind of shocked. I thought I looked like Ben Jones out there, but in reality, I was just standing up too tall, missing things, just rushing the kitchen. And the worst of all, I don't think I had any idea what I was just doing out there. I was just hitting shots, just hoping it gets over the net. So watching film is like holding a mirror up to your game. It doesn't lie. You see all the little mistakes you never catch in the moment. The lazy footwork, bad court positioning, maybe missed opportunities, or a poor shot selection when you're under pressure when the game is close, you know? So the key is, when you're watching, don't just start cringing like how I was in the beginning. Break it down. Be like a coach, you know? Ask yourself, why did I lose this point? Was that shot the right shot? Maybe I should have done something else. Like, where was I standing when I got burned right there? I used to rewatch my tournaments literally the same night, and I sometimes still do. Now I just kind of just do it with you guys, actually. I studied the match, take mental notes basically, and then apply them in drills when I'm drilling, or the next day I'm playing rec, you know? So the improvement from watching your own film is actually insane. I used to do the same thing in basketball, and now I'm doing the same thing in pickleball. So if you're not recording your games that literally start today, like use your phone, a tripod, like some old camera, I don't know, in the basement that you might have. Use anything, because seeing your own games back is when you finally get what's working and what's actually not working. You probably heard this one before, but you should drill more than to play. Honestly, all these YouTubers that are saying this, I think that's one of the biggest false statements I literally hear in pickleball. Like, yeah, it sounds like good on paper, right? Like drilling, like, oh my god, like you're practicing, it's so good for you, you're working on your moves. But like in reality, I think drilling too much without contacts can actually probably even hurt your game. So listen to me, here's why. When you're constantly drilling with no live game pressure, you're not really learning how to play those skills in real time, right? So pickleball is all about decision making, adjusting to opponents, and then reading plays like basically on the fly, you know? You don't really get that in drilling. You don't get it, like, don't get it twisted though. Like, drilling is definitely super important, but playing is where you also learn how to use your tools. The real key is drill with purpose. In the beginning, me and my dad were honestly just hitting random things, drops, drives, no structure at all, just waiting to play the skinny singles game, because that's the most fun part, you know, skinny singles. I felt like I was working hard, but I wasn't improving as fast as I wanted. So once I started identifying my weaknesses and drilling, that's when everything changed. For example, I was popping up thirds in tournaments and in rec play, so I drilled third shot drops with targets. I kept getting torched at the kitchen, so I drilled fast hands and resets. I couldn't finish off most of the points. I switched even the paddle. I went from Ruby to Ahmad, but that was not that. So I just drilled roll volleys and attack patterns. And honestly, I just chose to master my backhand. I feel like that's why my backhand is so good, because most of the drill sessions that I did early on were just my backhand. I would just work flicks, I would work volleys out of the air with my backhand, and just doing wrist exercises actually. So that's what really mastered just one shot basically, and that one shot definitely helped me to reach a high level, a 5-5 level. So basically every drill had a purpose, and guess what? It's not about spending 3 hours mindlessly hitting just balls. It's about 30 minutes of focused, intentional reps. If you're just drilling to drill, you're basically just wasting your time. And if you're just playing to play, you're just doing the same thing. You're just stalling your growth, basically. So, but when you combine both with purpose, that's basically how you just level up and then raise your duper and win more games in the tournaments faster. So yeah, the agenda is don't drill more than you play. Don't play more than you drill. Do both, honestly, but just make sure it's with a purpose and with a mission. Honestly, when I started playing pickleball, I can't tell you how many hours I spent watching Federico, Ben Johns, Patrick, and just PPA in general. And no, it was not just for entertainment. I was watching literally like a student in class. I was so interested in how I can become better. But here's the thing that a lot of people get wrong. They watch the pros and immediately just go out there and try to copy everything they do. Don't. Do not do that. Because unless you're moving like them, reading like them, or even reacting like them, you can't hit the same shots as they do. Not yet, at least, you know, maybe in the future. And trying to do that is just gonna leave you basically frustrated. Instead, here's how I study the pros to actually get better. I kind of just watch how they used to position themselves in the games, especially in the transition zone or like even at the kitchen. I study their footwork, not just looking at their hands. I listen to their communication with partners. At least I would try to see how they communicate between the points and stuff like that. I watch what choices they made in tough situations. For example, were they being aggressive versus were they slowing it down, or resetting or attacking in the transition zone. I was paying attention when they speed up the ball, when did they drive the ball on the third, or are they dropping the ball? When is the best way to do that? So that's what basically I just studied. And most importantly, I just took basically one thing from a pro and then tried it in record drilling. I wasn't just like noting down all these things and just going right away and trying to drill all of those things. No, it's one trait at a time, one thing at a time. Like, okay, today I'm gonna focus on how Colin Johns resets from the transition zone. Then I would kind of just honestly film myself doing the same thing, and I would compare. So like if I'm doing like he does, kind of, am I attacking with my two-wheel like Patrick Inez or Connor Garnett, you know? So yeah, study the pros. Don't just try to be like them. Analyze them, break it down, and then apply it to your level and not theirs. Basically, that's how you just close the gap. Also, try to analyze their technique. That's what I did a lot. I learned a lot from Ben Johns, just looking at his technique, and I kind of just try to perfect it. Also, I was looking how different players sit with their two-e's, with their two-hand drives, two-hand dinks, and honestly, in the recent months, I just been watching that, and I just kind of implement that in my own game, and I have my own touch to it. So I'm definitely gonna come out with a tutorial how to hit a two-e. If you are not a tennis player and you don't have much of racket sports background, and right now my two-hander is feeling very nice at the net. It's feeling somewhat decent on the drives, but at the net I really feel comfortable and I feel like I put a lot of spin on it. So yeah, that's just, I learned that just from watching pros. Basically, I didn't have a coach to teach me that. I wish I did, but I did not. Self-taught, and I really like how I use it now. So yeah, study the pros, and that will definitely elevate your game. Okay, so the last one is definitely the most important one. Look, you can drill 5 days a week, play every tournament, watch every pro, but if your mindset isn't right, you're gonna hit a wall. And I know this honestly firsthand. When I first started playing pickleball, I was still carrying a lot of baggage from basketball, the intensity, the injuries, the pressure, the need to make it. Even though it wasn't there, I just put so much weight on every game. Every mistake felt like a setback, and every loss just kind of felt personal, just like basketball. But that's when I realized something like pickleball was fun. It was fun for me. It was not a job. It was not something I wanted to pursue. So there was no pressure for me to be perfect. It was just a hobby. I didn't have to be a pro. I didn't have to win every point. I could just enjoy the game. And when I shifted my mindset to that, I honestly just started getting better so much faster. The best part, I wasn't stressed. I wasn't overthinking. I was just honestly coming to parks, having fun, drilling, having fun, while also just working and getting better. I didn't feel like I had to prove anything to anyone. I didn't let the game control me. Like, I just played. In basketball, I was always worried about expectations from my coach, my teammates, from myself even. But from pickleball, just no pressure. Just me, my paddle, maybe my teammate, who he might get angry at me. He might throw his paddle at me, but I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna just enjoy it and compete, you know. So I think that's one of the reasons, and probably the main reason, why I improved so quickly. When you let go of the stress and just start enjoying the process, that's honestly when the growth happens. I was focused on getting better, sure, but it was with a relaxed mindset. It was a game, and that's how I played it. So if you want to get good at pickleball, enjoy it. Don't overthink it. It's supposed to be fun. Have fun. When you stop worrying about ratings, rankings, your duper, honestly, even, and just focus on the joy of the game, improvement honestly just magically happens. Well, not magically, because you are just having fun and you are improving while you're having fun. So yeah, the mindset is literally everything. It's the key. I feel like the dog mentality still needs to come in there from time to time, especially in the money tournaments. It comes in for me. I definitely get into it. I definitely focus. The fun kind of goes away when we're talking money and we're talking big tournaments, and if we're talking now about pro. But I'm talking about from 3-0 to 4-0 to 4-5. It's about having fun.